Mike Perlak here after working 2 jobs with a word on Bitcoin. Yeah, Trump wants to centralize Bitcoin in America. Just one more reason to vote for him. America first. If Bitcoin is centralized here in America, it'll be decades before you and me will benefit from it. But the point is, it'll be planted here in America. Speaking of Trump, by the way, 2 weeks ago, somebody tried to take his life, despite what you might see on social media. Yeah, Google is interrupting people searching for Trump and what happened 2 weeks ago. I wonder why. They want everybody to focus on Kamala and how wonderful she is. Anyways, back to Bitcoin. So, yeah, Trump wants to centralize Bitcoin in America as as part of the America First policies that will be implemented when he is reelected in November. I personally will invest in Bitcoin when one can use it in at a competitive rate to buy things like food and gasoline. That's the day I invest in Bitcoin. When I can use $1 of old school currency will cost, that same item will cost me 78 cents if I use Bitcoin. When that happens, then I'll invest in Bitcoin. But like I said, it will be, even if Trump centralizes Bitcoin in America, it'll be decades at least before you and me, typical average Americans, benefit from it. That's the best example I can come up with. I watched Dr. Steve Turley. These guys are way smarter than me, and even if Trump does this and centralizes Bitcoin right here in America, it's going to be decades before regular people like you and me benefit from it. Right now, back when I was a kid, people would talk about, toys for the rich. I remember when I was a kid, people talk about flying cars. Oh, yeah, they got them, but they're basically just toys for the rich. That's what Bitcoin is. Bitcoin is a financial game for the rich to play. I was talking to people today at my jobs, and they know people that lost money. If I lose a substantial amount of money, I ain't going to be happy. Bitcoin right now is a financial game for the people that can afford to lose 6, 7, 10 grand. It's a drop in a bucket for them. Before I hit record, I was watching NGD Business News. I really hope the folks that handle my 401k didn't invest hardcore into insurance companies. Biggest loss on record in 100 years for insurance companies. Biggest loss. World's changing, man. All right, I got to go to bed, but I wanted to recap just a little bit on some of my video shorts that I posted. The one about I didn't get to squeeze it all in under 59 seconds, so I'm just going to reiterate it here. An old and wise person once said, the problem with media is it has an authoritative authorization to be self-righteous. To a degree, I understand it. Freedom of the press, power to the people, justice is blind. Unfortunately, today's media is using mantras like power to the people to enhance its own authority and power over the hearts and minds of the masses. One side tells us Trump is going to be a dictator, all while the candidate that they support is the one who is being installed with their help, the media, and, the rich elitists all over the world. You don't think these rich elitists, global elitists, have influence in our elections? Kamala was installed. She's never been elected by we the people to anything, which is the very definition of a dictatorship. So one contradiction after another when it comes to these elitist leaders. I have to admit, when it comes to playing with and manipulating words and language and definitions, I'm not smart enough to compete with these Democratic Party leaders. Trump's crude, maybe, but at least I can comprehend it. Trump's words are crude, but his message rings true. The Democratic Party's words are just manipulative to me. Business as usual. And the only true message I get is flunk you, you American worker. You don't agree with us? You race. You don't agree with us? You thisophobe. You don't agree with us? You thatophobe. And then my other video short. If Joe Biden is the establishment, or was the establishment puppet, then that makes Kamala Harris the establishment dummy. And the sad state of the Democratic Party, she's that's the closest thing the Democratic Party has to an upgrade from puppet to dummy. Yeah. Can you imagine a Kamala Harris presidency? Every press conference, she just laugh and cackle at every question. Why are you asking me questions? I already told you how it is. It ain't my fault you won't obey. You don't believe. You don't believe me. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. And that's what the Democratic Party has become. And the other video short I shared, remember kids, a lynch mob is a form of democracy. It's true. Thank you, God, that we live in a constitutional republic. When leaders on TV say, we got to defend our democracy. Oh, God, our democracy is threatened. Oh, God. Oh, God. Yeah, what they're saying is, we got to defend our right to lynch who we want to lynch. And I don't think I need to tell you who they're trying to lynch, who they've been trying to lynch for the last 4 years now. 8 years. 9 years since he came down that escalator and announced his candidacy for president. They have been doing nothing but trying to lynch this guy, Trump. They've been doing nothing but trying to lynch President Trump since the day he came down that escalator and announced his candidacy for president. This is one I didn't get to earlier, because I was going to make a fourth video short, but this is one I didn't get to earlier, but I'll just cover it here on this video. There's a reason why the border czar, Kamala, the current nominee for the presidency of the United States by the Democratic Party, there's a reason why she never been to the border. The border ain't a good place to be right now. And there's a reason why their border policies suck for us legal Americans. The Democratic Party only interest is its power and control. And by doing what they're doing, letting anybody come over the border, they are securing future voters for the Democratic Party. Citizens who will willfully kowtow to the Democratic Party and take the handouts from the Democratic Party. You know, crust of bread every now and again, only to those who obey. Like the Democratic Party has done for decades to the black community. How the Democratic Party has treated the black community for decades, which to very much success, I'm sorry to have to say. You don't think the Democratic Party will throw the black community under the bus once they get enough undocumented migrants the right to vote to permanently secure their power and control in this flunking country? Mike Perilak, I work 2 jobs. I got to go to bed. Good night.